Hey, welcome back. This is episode 2, official Bag Talk. Sneaky Pete live from Puerto Rico, BZB's live in Bridgeport, and Fast Fred from 203 back at the tables again. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Friday morning?
What's going on? What's going on?
BZB's out here looking like he's going snowboarding or something.
Hey,
Hey,
listen, man, I know it's
motivated
cold
by
over there,
Ray.
but I don't know if B's got the AC on in his house.
Motivated by Ray. I'm out here. I'm about to hit the slopes.
Let
I
me
see.
find out. You out there running with a tracksuit on, punching raw meat like Rocky Balboa.
What up, though, guys? What's up, man? Talk to me. What's going
Nah,
on?
man, we out here. We out here again. We just couldn't wait. We couldn't wait, man. Oh, we could talk for days.
It's
There's so
buzzing.
much always to talk about. It's
Forget
buzzing.
about
Look
it.
at-
Yeah, at least
Speaking
we
of
get to see
buzzing.
each other because we're always in the group chat.
Yeah, 100%, man. Look, speaking of buzzing, look at Pete's hat, man. That's the largest logo on a hat I've ever seen.
Hey, listen, man, and I give credit to Edwin and Bees because I want to say 2 years ago we had got patches and we bought the New Era hats and we went and we had them put the patches on with the Velcro. So the beauty of the setup is, depending on what I'm
Stop
feeling
it.
like, you know what I mean? You got your Velcro patch, so however you feeling on that day, that's how you do it. You know?
Oh, it's
Listen,
fire.
man.
So
You
you know
already know.
Cornhole, we're big on
Back.
patches, you know?
Hat sales going up. Hit me up. Hit Bees. I'm Pete up. Hit Fred. We gonna have them back talk.
Patches and hats.
Hats coming. Hit us
Yeah,
up.
hats, shirts, merch everywhere, baby.
It's
The
Yeah.
whole
coming.
9 yards.
Just like
Yeah,
that,
man,
right,
so-
Fly? Take it off. You want one day you feeling this type of vibe, you switch it up.
You know that's right. So man, I mean, big championship week last week. You know, Cornhole by the Sound, and the session 12 that was. It didn't go anybody's way the way anybody predicted,
It went a
Well,
little bit for
except me.
Fred. Yeah.
except for
Yeah,
Fred.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, my predictions were the closest. But I had Lambo taking it down, but he's a duck, didn't make it. But Bam Bam I had coming in second and Bodette in third. So kind of
2 out of 3.
yeah, Lambo just had he was just a victim to what we said up in that top half, man. Just to go over that quickly, he was a victim of you lose your first one, you lose your second one, whatever the case may be, and it's going to be a tough road to come back. And unfortunately, Bam Bam was able to get him in round one, and then smooth sailing for Bam Bam up into a certain point. I think Bodette had taken him down for the king seat, and Bam Bam just came back. Flames out of that hand, man. Flames. And let me just say, man, if I ever show up to a tournament and Bam Bam's there with no hat on, man, I'm probably packing up my bags and leaving.
It was
With
insane.
no hat
Yeah,
on.
the
is
Who is
Brady
this
one.
guy?
The 21 Jump Street Bam Bam.
Yo, it's like Clark Kent putting on some glasses, bro.
unbelievable.
Take the glasses off. He's Superman. He puts them on. He's Clark Kent. Didn't even know who that guy was on the live feed.
comes back Superman with BG bags.
But I gotta say, man, of all the ways the night could have ended, you couldn't pay me to believe that Matt DeRose was going to go 2-0.
No.
I got to reach out to him. I got to text him. I felt like I needed to let this wound close. Let's put a week
You got to
between.
make sure he's okay. We got to check
Listen,
on him.
absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, he's liable to leg lock somebody, with the BJJ after that.
Yeah, buddy.
I mean, I gotta say it's his first time in a long time to really be in a stacked bracket like that. So maybe just an overthinking. I don't know what it was, man. I didn't see that.
round one though. You got Braid in round one. You can't sleep,
Yes.
and I don't think he did sleep, but because it was a close match.
And he wore Braden down because Braden shot his load
did.
that game.
Yeah.
That was it.
I feel like once Braden beat him because Matt missed a lot of critical shots that he normally makes. And I feel like he just had a mental breakdown, and from there it was just all downhill.
Which let's not just hold that against DeRose though, and use that as like a negative towards him. That is 99.4% of the
Everybody,
throws.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you lose that round one because at the end of the day, we said it. Us three said it on the last episode that that was a hard, tough top of the bracket. Like you didn't want to be there. No one wanted to be in that bracket. If we're talking about it, every single one in that top bracket knew that same thing. So you lose that first round. Everybody knew how important that first round matchup was.
Absolutely.
And when you do get that knocked down, man, it takes a wind right out of your sail. You're
It's
not
the
moving in that
keynote.
water.
It's the keynote that I always say. Never take a bad bag to the next frame. never take a bad frame to the next game, and never take a bad game, obviously, to your next one. You got like it happens. You got to leave
Yep.
it where it is.
Yep.
The next one could be different, you know.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
the
feel like
hardest thing to do.
getting down too is something that hurts people. Like some guys that get down so deep and they just automatically just start. They don't care anymore. You know, they like. I started watching Braden have a little fit meltdown in one
I
of
saw
his
you post
games.
on the comments. You were like, "Stop throwing, stop having a
Yes.
hissy fit."
Yeah,
Yeah.
you like that's not the way to do it. You got to lock in. They don't have 21 yet. You
Yep.
have to wrap your brain around. They don't have 21 yet. I've seen it time and time again. Look at Devin Harbaugh walk down Jake Gore on an 18-2 lead or something like that
Mm-hmm.
and win the game. Like you have to understand that the I feel like when Mark Richards says play the game, not the name, some people give up because of who it is. Oh, if I'm down 18 this to that guy, there's no way I'm going to beat him. But guess what? The original 203 jersey on the back said it's you versus you.
Oh yeah. You're damn right
And
it
the
did.
reality is, man, you put 4 bags and hold a guy can't beat you.
Yep.
I forgot her name. She used to be an analyst for the ACL. She asked Matt Guy one time, I believe. This is when I first started playing. Why does he look down while his opponent's shooting? Sometimes
Because they
he'll
don't
look down.
care. He don't care what his opponent's
He
doing.
said because what the guy next to me does doesn't matter. I came here to put 4 bags in the hole. That's it.
Yep.
However I get him in there, he blocks me. He doesn't block. You see, he'll fire it up airmail after airmail. He doesn't care. My job when I line up on these boards is to put 4 bags in the hole. If I come here and I'm already thinking about a strategy or how I got to play you and all this, I already set myself back. Because if you already know how to put 4 bags in the hole, despite who's standing next to you, stick with what you know. Go
Who
with
won
what you
the
know.
who won the tournament? This most recent one in Cornhole Sound.
Whew.
Who won it? Who won it?
Braden and Smoke.
Bam Bam.
No. Bam
Oh, you
Bam
talking about
won
the
that.
BYOP?
Nope. Nope. I'm talking
All
Bam
the
Bam. I'm gonna
singles.
keep
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I'm
Bam
gonna,
Bam.
I'm gonna
Trevor.
keep it here. I'm gonna keep it here with the mentality. I was just
Yes.
there's a little play on
Trevor won
words.
that. He came from the losers bracket.
Yo,
Yeah,
And he
guess
got
what? My
spanked. And he
point-
got spanked by Bordet in the round robin.
Listen,
he
So it goes
came
to
listen,
back
show
with
you.
vengeance.
listen to me. This is why I said it. This is why I just said that question. It's a rhetorical question. Pete's talking about mentality, right?
Right.
Bam Bam. What separates mediocrity and championship level play is exactly what Pete was just saying. It doesn't matter what's happening next to you and what that person's doing. Doesn't matter what the score is. You know how far Bam Bam was down against Big Smoke in that third place loser final match?
16 or 14.
16-4.
16-4.
16-4.
Yeah.
I think it was 16-4 or 14-6. It doesn't matter. He was multiple rounds, if you call it rounds, right? A normal round, you could score 2 or 3. If you score 2 or 3 each round, he was down by 9. That's 3 rounds. He was down 3 rounds to Big Smoke. Just kept at it. And besides one round that Big Smoke gave up, he was just chewing him to death. He just stayed focused. Let me just get my 10 on 8. Let me just get my 12 on 10.
Yeah.
Where other people
Grinding.
crumble, mediocrity and championship level is separated by that mentality. And Bam Bam proved it. That's why he won.
He
I
grinded
agree.
it out,
Right
and
there.
it was well deserved. And he
Yep,
kept his
100%.
shoes on.
Which is put your shoes on, take your hat off. I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking, bro, but it worked. Keep at
Me
it.
neither. I think
I
he's
mean-
a monk secretly.
Like I said, man, well, the difference was when he changed his bag. I just seen a whole different.
See, you were there live and you were playing in the event.
Yeah.
Us outsiders who weren't there and didn't get to see it, his first matchup against Lambo wasn't on live stream. It was on a
No.
different court, so we didn't get to see what bags he was throwing.
Bags,
By
yeah.
the time he got to that feature court, that court 1, he was throwing them Vikings, and it was rolling, cutting, airmail, sliding. He was
Yep.
doing whatever he wanted. He had a remote control on those Vikings, man.
Yes, he did.
So,
Yes, he
I
did.
agree.
And the sound gets nice and tacky as the night goes on.
Yep.
So once you get there, you keep the bag low and flat. It's going to go down the middle, and you put any kind of angle on that bad
gets
boy,
muddy.
it's going to dance for you.
Yeah,
Yep.
but like Fred said, like now, you guys weren't there, right? So when I know the vibes usually, everybody's jolly, everybody's happy, everybody. When I got there, it was quiet. Everybody's locked in their corner, warming up. Everybody's saying, "What's up, yo? What's up? What's up?" Everybody's greeting each
But you
other.
know what time
but
it is, though.
It's
the
wartime,
energy, it's
yeah.
war. Everybody, the energy was you could tell everybody was locked in.
Competitive, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so you could definitely feel it, man. You know, that was a good feeling, man, because I felt that's a feeling that I first got when I went to my first ACL event, which I did with Jamil. That I really like. It was quiet, like for like that first 40-minute ride over there. It was like you could tell we were just quiet, and then when we walked in, it was like nobody was talking, and then once we got through that first frame, it was that we actually score. It was like,
Yep.
all right, yo, let's go. So it was kind of that vibe.
And that's
That's
what
how I
happens
felt.
when you take that leap from a social backyard, I enjoy the game, to let me get my competitive juices flowing. You see the tournament, you get into a tournament, you feel that like your competitiveness comes back, and it could be a football game, it could be a jiu-jitsu match, it could be whatever you want, but a wrestling arena. When you get into that and you feel that competitiveness and people aren't really talking, but they're saying what's up, they're friendly, but
It
it's
changes things.
business.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
business.
that's what keeps you coming back, man.
I feel like, without, because I never want to take anything away from anybody who did the job, because he definitely did the job, and he did the job in a very impressive manner. However, I can't help but look at the numbers, and I know Bodette. I don't know who this guy is right here. I don't know who a 5.53. No, it's a 5.33 game
That's
one.
that's that's my numbers.
Yeah.
6 rounds. You know what I mean?
The
I mean, Bam
first,
Bam threw a 10. That's game
Yep.
one. And then game two,
yo, to piggyback off of that, I got the
he
numbers
threw a
here.
7.87. And
Yeah,
Bam Bam threw a 9. So it was in the cards no matter what.
Yeah.
Because even if he did play his usual, this was going to be a dogfight to the end. Because
Yep.
Bam Bam threw basically what they both usually.
Tom beat Mernon 21-1. He beat Mike R 26-2. He beat Bam Bam 22-2. He beat Smoke 21-3, and then he's on his way to make history to set a milestone, set the bar high, going undefeated and winning the chip. He gets to
And
the chip and
almost
he
not
gets
even giving up 10
outperformed
points.
49-4 in 2 games. Bordet scored 4
Yeah,
points in
because
2 games.
because you know what? He beat Mernon so bad. Mike R single digits, Bam Bam single digits. What do you think he did to that bottle of Dewar's? He beat that bottle of Dewar's 25-2 also.
The
You know what
games
I'm
weren't
saying?
long enough to keep him right.
Correct.
Right.
And then he sits for an hour, 15 minutes in that king seat waiting for it to come back. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's tough. That's
I
tough
mean,
to
I'm
stay
not gonna
motivated.
lie. He went out, he did what he did, but he was warming up. He was playing. I think he actually had a game next, like on the court, like so they were staying warm, bro. I
Yeah.
just feel that he put Bam Bam over his lap and spanked him during the round robins. That he thought it was the same, and Bam Bam just came beep pop, beep 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 pop, beep pop, and you know what I'm saying? His
Listen,
energy
man.
just sucked the soul out of him.
There's
Yeah.
something to be said about coming from the losers bracket. Is balls to the wall. You got nothing to lose and everything to
Yep.
gain. This guy has to defend himself twice against me now. And
Yep.
if I come out guns blazing, and everybody says the same thing, if I could get the first one done, your confidence is through the roof for the second one.
Yeah.
If I could get this first one done, I'm going to beat him.
And what doesn't show in the numbers is Bodette could have been like, you know what, let me take some extra chances. I have 2 games, right? Let me take some extra chances in that first game, try to staple this, try to put the hammer in. And you know what? You miss a couple of those, you miss one bag to the left and one bag off the board. I mean, that's 5. You're giving up 5. You do that twice, it's now a 10-0
10.
game. And
Yeah.
that's, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to take into and be like, oh my God, he shot so bad. And,
Well,
5
game
that's
game
bad.
2, regardless of what, it was 15 rounds. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
That's a
And-
decent game.
and that says something. And
Yeah.
in the end, he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens and a 12, and then the rest were 8s, some 6s. He did have 1 3 in there, but on that 3, he only gave up 2.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, that right there just proves that Bam Bam was shooting lights out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, it is what it is. But that's
Bro.
good.
Nah, man,
That's
but
good.
You guys got
Listen,
something?
I got to speak about something real quick that's kind of a little bothersome. Not bothersome. I love it. I love it. Ray Paquet. Shine a little light on this guy, man.
Hey, yo,
at me.
Ray, you a funny guy, man.
Ray's coming at me. I think he took offense to me talking to his wife, get permission for him to come out of retirement, man. And I had to make that call. At the end of the day, At the end of the day, we need Ray Paquet out here on the boards, and we were missing him. So
It's where
you
he
know what?
belongs.
I woke up a beast. The wife said it's okay. He's got no more excuses. You know what I'm saying? No more excuses. You know? Then he's coming back. He came back this past Tuesday, NVC.
He's
He didn't throw
spicy.
well at all. That too. But you know what I'm saying? Then he's got to feel some type of way, calling out BZBs at the same time. The first person to ever throw two call outs
Two
in a row.
calls
Before
under
even playing
5
the
days.
first one.
If I even played the
Before-
first one.
Yeah, before that, I mean,
Oh,
man,
shit,
but
Pete got
nah,
him.
that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. We got something
So-
planned.
So Ray has a particular location that he wants to play you. I guess you guys went on a few dates over there and
Yeah,
started playing
well,
cornhole together. So he has
what
like
a lot of people don't know is back when 203 started, we played maybe 3 weeks, and then COVID shut everything down, right?
Yep.
So while COVID shut everything down, we decided, you know what, let's get a little, some backyard stuff. We call it the parking lot games, man. We started playing cornhole behind a place called Margaret Egan Center in Milford in the parking lot. So, you know, what's better than to do this call out right there in that parking lot, baby?
Where
We
it
set
all
the
began.
boards up.
Go
That's
weather's
it.
coming too. Yep.
You know how many times we would call up? I'd be in the area working. He'd be in the area working. I'd be like, yo, Ray, what you doing? Yo, meet me in the parking lot. We got a quick best of 3. You know what I'm saying?
So-
How many times? We've probably played 100 games or more of singles in that parking lot. So there's nothing better than at that place. So
I know.
You know
I
what?
know Pete's
You may
getting
have to,
flashbacks right now.
That's Ed's backyard and Blackham School. Blackham
Yeah.
School behind my house, because obviously I live probably less than a mile from B's and Ed. And if I was on my way back from work, I would hit Frankie first because I got to pass Frankie and Julio on my way home. And I'm busy, I'm tied up. All right, Ed, I'm pulling him out right now.
Yep.
As soon as I get there, he'd be like, yo, fly guy. He'd come out on the back porch. Oh, coming over right now. I'm going to be the walker.
Yep.
Let's go. We're going to jump Pete. And listen, we used to just go, bing, bang, boom, bang, bing, bing, every I want to say almost every day if we could. If I wasn't working late, yeah. If I wasn't working late, you forget about it.
Yeah, facts. And some of that is on my Instagram page. You guys could go back and I got receipts.
Yeah,
You see
Ed's
P
backyard,
with his work badge hanging.
Yeah.
Throwing bags.
The
And
lanyard
steel
getting
toes.
in the way.
Word,
Out there in
man.
my steel toes. You know? But listen, man, so that was the Wednesday night showdown last week. This Wednesday was BYOP.
Yeah.
Woo-wee. 17 teams, team kill shot. D Russ, Ant-Man. Shout out to Bill, Demaria, little Billy D, and the little Ant-Man. 9 years old, this kid, man. Insane what him and D Russ did. And before I go on about Wednesday night, I want to give an honorable mention to D Russ because D Russ is the silent assassin. For the last 90 days, he's been giving people hell all over the state of Connecticut.
Yeah, he eliminated me and Brady.
He's come such a long way in a short
In
time.
singles.
I'd go as far as saying he's one of the most improved players I've seen in the last 90 days in the state
Him
of
and
Connecticut.
Steve, Redhead.
You know, Steve scored too, yeah. But like he beat Braden in the singles. He sent Braden home. He was Braden's final game. D Russ beat Braden. And he's just been on a tear, man. I've seen him on a couple of live feeds going to war with Bulldog. Just playing at a very, very high level, man. And I couldn't help but, be the nerd that I am and go through some of the numbers. So they started the night, right? Game 1, they got Ed and Bees. Dogfight. I'm watching it on the app because I was working. At one point, Ed and Bees have them down 18-12. Bees and Ed's game to win. Stay tight, stay down the middle, force a mistake or two, or just stay down the middle. You win the game. You're on to the next one. They grind it out and finish the game 23-18. Ed threw an 8.57. That's Edwin. Edwin's a seasoned little vet. You know what I mean? He doesn't get out as much as he should. He plays maybe once a week, if that, sometimes twice a week. But Edwin knows his way around 27 feet. Ant-Man threw an 8.29 against Edwin. And Bees threw a 7.86 against D. Russ's 8.86.
I lost that game.
On that last frame.
Because I could tell you exactly how it happened. We were up 18-12.
Mm-hmm.
That gives me first bag. I took a risk and it didn't pay off. I gave up 6. That automatically changed the game. What goes back
18,
down
18.
goes back down to I think he
He gives up
washed.
2. No,
No,
he
he
gave up 2.
washed. No, because he gives up 2. No, because it was
Yeah,
he gave up 2, so it became 20-18.
18,
Comes
yeah.
back to me, I give up 2, game over. So technically, I gave up 8 points in 2 frames. I was supposed to win that game, and D Russ, I should have just. Why am I taking the risk? I should just get my one bag in, play defense, and force him to take a bad shot to at least make him give up 1 point
Or a
at
low percentage
least.
shot, yeah.
Or he misses a shot and I hit one of my daggers and that's game. But no, I go and I go and take the dumb risk. And D Rush just puts 4 in and I give up 6. So basically, I want to apologize to everyone who got straight by by little Ant Man and D Russ because me and Ed had them on
Could
the
have sent it to the
ropes
losers
and
bracket,
I
game 1.
and I couldn't do the
Hey,
knockout
listen,
uppercut,
but
So
now,
I
so now
apologize.
your game went 7 rounds. Game 2 only went 8 rounds. Now here's the thing: they
They
beat
beat
you
Rooster.
guys.
They beat
Confidence are
Roosters.
coming up. They're feeling good. Yeah, game 2 is Rooster and Lambeau. Come on, Rooster and Lambeau. Let's just call it what it is.
The favorites.
Seasoned vets, been in the game for a long time. CCC veterans. Root throws a 7.38. Not like Rooster at all.
Yeah.
Average at best for most players in our area, but 7.38 is not a Rooster night. But D Russ throws an 8.63 to outscore Rooster 13 to Rooster's 3.
Yep.
You know, like, and there's no real science to this. D Russ is just staying down the middle, staying skinny. If you force to an air and it's a low percentage shot or a high percentage shot, but he's not really at risk of giving up too much in the worst case scenario, he'll take the shot. But the kid, Ant-Man, throws an 8.88 against Lombardi's 8.38, which is tremendous because the kid could cut, the kid could roll, but he's playing a block game. He's playing a really, really dirty game at 9 years old.
Yeah.
At 9 years old. So that's game 2. Game 3 doesn't get any easier. They got Skoy and Billy D. Ant-Man throws an 8.8 against his big brother. Big brother throws a 7.4. The game ends 23-9 in 5 rounds. D. Russ throws an 8.17. Skoy throws a solid 7, which is tremendous because he's on a very, very up-and-coming streak right now. Game 4, 24-10 against Braden and Kyle. Come on, another game. If you sit here and tell me that these two are going to beat Rooster and Lambeau, I'm going to say no way. They got a shot. Everybody has a shot. We all start at 0, but I'm going to say no way. Braden and Smoke. Same scenario. Now you got 4 players that are going to play. 3 out of the 4 are going to play a dirty ball. They're going to block. They're going to cut. They're going to roll. They want to muddy it up. They want to force you to hit the big shots. Or, like my guys Braden and Smoke get ahead of themselves, they want to hit the big shots. They're looking for the glory. So the game ends 24-10 after 6 rounds. D. Russ throws an 8.83. Breezy throws a 6.67. Not Braden. Not Braden's usual. Outscored 15-2. D. Russ put his foot knee deep right there in Braden. Ant-Man 7.83 to Kyle's 7.67. It was a good game no matter what, but I can't call that. I can't sit here and say I know definitively that they're going to give them a good game or they smashed them 24-10. They outscored them by 14 points. Like, these guys been playing cornhole for 15 minutes. Game 1 of the chip, vengeance time. But before I get to game 1 of the chip, the losers final was the longest game of the night, 10 rounds. And you got Lambeau and Rooster versus Braden and Smoke. Lambeau throws an 8.6 against Braden's 7.9, outscores Braden 16-9. Solid. Expect nothing less from Lambeau. Braden, again, a little shaky. Rooster throws a 9.73. We're in Rooster league now. That's Rooster. That's one of his. That's his regular. Young Smoke throws a 10.45. Outscores Rooster 12-4. So Rooster throws a 9.73 and Smoke
And
only
they
allows
lose.
him 4 points.
Those are
They're
big
on a
numbers.
mission. They're on a
Those are big
mission.
numbers.
Those are tremendous numbers.
Those are
You know what I
big
mean?
boy numbers.
Yeah, high level cornhole numbers right there. You know what I mean? Bag chasing, you know? And they go back to the chip. They catch up. Game 1. D Russ is out of gas. I'm not knocking them. We've all been there. Most of the guys that come to these leagues at night just finish 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours of work up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever your occupation. I know me as a machinist, I'm up at 4 something in the morning. I used to be at work by 5:30. I'm out playing cornhole till 11:30, 12 o'clock at night if you make it far. It's no picnic after a while, especially when you're no spring chicken. But he still played well. He threw at 6.67. Braden got his get back with a 9.33, outscoring him 19-3. Braden took game 1, hands down. The young boy outscored Smoke 9-6 through an 8.67, lumped up Smoke. Smoke through an 8.17. But the beauty of it was game 2 of the chip, whole different ball game. I just had it. Smoke went bananas. Game 2 of the chip, he starts going. And this brings me to my honorable mention. Smoke is on fire.
He is.
I watched the little boy, man, 9 years old.
He's a different player right now.
He takes a step back. He's looking at the board. He instantly starts first bag blocking Kyle every time he has first bag. And Smoke tries to roll, tries to cut. He starts blowing up starts giving up the money, giving up washes, giving up 2 points, giving up washes. And the kid just nailing it. Finally, obviously Smoke has an IQ himself. He starts back blocking. Now, Ant has a decision to make. Do I roll? Do I not? And Smoke took the control back because naturally he understands the game as well as any of us do. But to just watch this 9-year-old little boy, man, sit there and make these cognitive decisions. This guy's throwing more in the hole than me. Let me give him something to look at. Let me force him. Let me play to his ego. Let's call it what it is. If you block Braden or Smoke, they're trying something new. There's a shot that they might have saw on ESPN or on Facebook, and they want to try it. You know what I mean?
He got good IQ, man, for a 9-year-old.
Just to watch that kid, Yeah, he really does, man. But I say that to say this, man. Shout out to Bill DeMario, man. What you're doing with those boys is tremendous. They're natural-born baseball players, and now they're out here rocking all these grown men's world in cornhole. You know what I mean? They lost, but there's no way they walk away without nothing less than their head held high, because that was a performance nonetheless, man. So shout out to D. Russ and Ant-Man. Obviously, Smoke and Braden kept their cool. When the going got tough, they got going. And, Smoke put Braden on his back and carried him up past the finish line. And that's what good players do, good partners do,
Yeah, Smoke won last night. I-203 pop-up, too. He won the singles.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
I think he went undefeated, right?
Yep.
I think he
so
played
he had a third place, didn't he?
He lost. He lost in the round robin.
Oh, he lost in the round robin. All right.
Yeah, he came
he's
back.
been playing
back
good.
The King season.
He finished 4th at the Sound in singles, right?
No, third.
He took my spot. He took my spot. He came podium. Smoke is like he looks like a small guy, but he's pretty kind of big. And then when he throws his bags, you kind of hear it. It lands like bricks. Blah.
He's got that angle.
He got a heavy hand.
That angle. So if you look at a board, a board's got like an angle, right, from the back of the hole down. That's the exact flight path of his bag. So when his bag hits that board, it's hitting flat. And all you hear is an echo. You're just like, wow, that's loud, man. That's loud. He's got that natural back tilt.
I would expect that from like Braden or Fred, like a bag, like bang. Yeah. Braden and Fred's pretty big guys.
Let's switch it up real quick, man, because we got a couple more things we want to touch on. I know there's one thing.
Well, let me ask you something, Freddie. Speaking of which,
definitely.
I know you're involved with a lot of different things. We have our group chat, and I'm in a couple of different groups. And, you get people that ask random questions, especially in Scoreholio, the organizer group. We spoke about this, I want to say, on one of the lives that we did, payout transparency and what it can do for the community. Obviously, people are going to speculate. Some people agree, some people disagree. But I feel like the level of disagreement or disdain that comes from some players or player pools is more or less established from a lack of understanding.
Sure.
And you being an organizer who's done fundraisers, charity events, leagues, and you obviously run a switch, and right now you're doing a collaboration with NVC and Noggy. Give us a bird's eye view in how you usually do things and how some people you've dealt with do things, because a
Yeah,
lot of
without a
people
doubt.
complain, and
Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't benefit anybody to complain on social media. It doesn't benefit anybody to complain to anybody but the person that you think might be wronging you,
Yeah, yeah.
because
Well, let's
the
call it duck a
greatest
duck. Let's
yeah,
call it duck a duck. So,
at the end of the
so
day, the
at the
greatest
moment,
distance
yeah,
between two people is often a misunderstanding. So I
yeah,
might be upset about something. You explain it to me, and I'm like, oh, wow, bro, my bad. I overreacted. It's not that serious. You know what I mean? But if
yeah.
I
There's
don't give
been a
you an
couple.
opportunity,
Yeah. Let's talk about the elephant
But
in the room, so to
but
speak.
yeah.
Go ahead, please go
No,
ahead.
I was gonna say, shouldn't we tell? Because maybe we might know what we talking about, but
No, I'm
shouldn't
talking
we
no,
about right
just
now.
it's a
This is the
drop it?
hardest part.
generalization, Bees.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
It's a generalization. However, it's driven, and the mitigating factor is that there is talk quietly and privately in these group chats, and it's been brought up once before that I've had a conversation with, and it directly. I'm just no holds barred here. It directly affects the collaboration between 203 and Naugatuck Valley. Now, this could also umbrella out where there's communication issues or questions regarding payouts and other events and stuff like that. And it's always going to be a topic of discussion if there isn't transparency, right? Transparency could mean multiple things. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to 100% publicly make a post saying, hey, this is what our payouts are. Everybody knows that there's a payouts of 70%, 80% is a standard of what you pay out. Organizers keep a little bit. Sometimes organizers have to pay for a rental, for a venue. But in this, and the reason why Pete's bringing this up is because in a current group chat, without naming names, there's been some questioning of the differences in payouts between 203 and NVC. At the end of the day, it's all for the betterment of cornhole. And what I want to be transparent without, I haven't discussed this with Ruben or RJ.
Well,
But
to be specific, before you go on, just to be
yep,
specific, key point. I want to say week 2, before you
yep,
changed venues, there
yep,
was a certain conversation that was overheard at your event, and then a likewise particular conversation with the same content at an NBC event, with nobody really understanding how
sure,
things changed for you and things changed for them, because they've been to yours before, and this
sure,
isn't how usually Freddie prays out.
yep,
It's usually better than this.
yep,
And I've been to Noggy before, but this isn't usually how Naugatuck is. Usually, Noggy usually pays out better than
yep,
this,
yep.
and there's a limited level of understanding, and that's where we are.
Yeah. So what I want to just put out up front is at the beginning of this collaboration between 203 and NVC, we wanted to create something that was a little bit different. Number one, a lot of clubs are collaborating, but they're collaborating on different levels, right? The one-off events, all that kind of stuff. We wanted to collaborate in something that brought a lot of meaning in two clubs together. Right. So when we created this, we thought, well, how could this work? What could we do to be different? What could we do to change things up a little bit? Right. And changing it up, there was a couple of different changes. There was a changes when it comes to we're hosting a singles championship and a doubles championship based off of the standings of a Switcholio. We're also going to alternate different venues each individual week. Right. So we're going to do 12 weeks. Right. But to qualify for the championships, you have to play in 7. And what that means is you can have your home court and you can play in all 6 of those, but you have to go to the away club at least one time. So what it was doing is just being more collaborative, right? That's the word of the day. What myself and I feel Ruben didn't do properly or well enough for the community were 2 things. Number one, we weren't outspoken about it. We only kind of talked about it when the questions were brought up, which is kind of a negative. Right, because if a question's being brought up, then there's some concern. And number 2 is we didn't discuss internally how to do this together as a collab, right? And what I mean do this together, which was the payouts. So I want to break it down really quickly. So at the end of the day, the entire collaboration season, right, the 12 weeks culminating in the championships of singles and doubles, is paying out 80%, the entire event. 20% was being held back for the organizers for our time, our efforts, I know us at 203 had to pay for our venue, et cetera, et cetera. So there should never be a question in regards to if an organizer is going to take 20% of the cut. It's
I
it's a
agree.
job. It is a job,
Absolutely,
right?
one
That
hundred
shit
The
percent.
is a lot of
problem,
hours, and it still doesn't even add
yeah,
up to what you're supposed to. You know. So,
correct. So, but at the end of the day, the problem, let me digress. Where we failed to be transparent and allow other people is in twofold as well is number one, we're only paying out 60% per week, right? So if something that NVC on a normal basis is paying out 80%, 90%, whatever, or if on a normal basis 203 is paying out 80%, 90% or whatever, it's already looking bad for us because we're already cutting that down by 30%, 20%. So we're only paying out 60% each week, right? We're holding back 20% each week to go towards the championships, right? So that was number one, where people didn't realize that the payouts were already going to be a little bit lower based upon the 60% per week. We wanted to pay something out, right? But we also needed to hold back because we don't have sponsors. You know, there's not people coming in conglomerating saying, oh, we're going to give $1,000 towards the payouts, whatever the case may be. We still are a player funded, you know, sport, so to speak. So at the end of the day, that's why the payouts are immediately low, right? Then you break it down to where the second part where we didn't communicate well enough, besides, you know, between myself, Ruben, and RJ, was we give out bonus points for the standings in our events, right? So we break it down to two different tiers. The top three in tier one get 30 points, 20 points, 10. Yeah, 30 points, 20 points, 10 points towards the championship bonus points. Tier two, we give out 5 bonus points just to the winner of tier two, not second place, not third place, doesn't matter. So 203, I pay out first, second, third of tier one, the bonus points. And then the winner of tier two gets their money back, bonus points. So only bonus points I was paying out. What Ruben has been doing has been paying out top 3 of both tiers.
So he's got
I'm
more
not
money
doing
going out.
So I'm not doing it wrong. Ruben's not doing it wrong, but we didn't discuss this upon the people. We're just doing it a little bit different, right? Which we could have improved on that. And you know what? We learn for the future. But at the end of the day, when you break down that you're only paying out 60%, you're already low. Then you get someone like 203 that's only paying out 4 places, but then Ruben's paying out 6 places. There's a difference. You're like, well, why am I hit this place at 203 and got paid this, and I hit NVC and paid this? Why is it the attendance is not changing that much? It's all the same. What is the difference here? Well, that's the difference, right? And we never were able to give that type of transparency before, which we probably should. We could have been a little bit more detailed in our posting, but you know what? You live and you learn. And, you know, at the end of the day, I hope that this explanation, although I kind of bounced around a little bit, gives a little insight that, you know, 80% plus. And also what I want to throw out there too, is that a conversation that I had with Ruben just the other day was, you know, Ruben has told me that he's given his entire 20% and putting it right back into the pot. Right. So these payouts for the singles championship and the 20 and the doubles championships, these 24 players that have, you know, qualified, only these 24 players that have qualified are going to have the opportunity to make some of the highest payouts in Connecticut. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? For 2 separate events for the championship. So
that's awesome.
That's fine.
Yeah. So although over the course of the past 11 weeks, 12 weeks, it seemed like, you know, some kind of funky this and that. When we announced the payouts, there's going to be some whoa. You know what I mean?
I think that was a perfect breakdown because, like I said, from the outside looking in, you know, you don't have much information. You just know you support both clubs. You've even before the collaboration. I've been to 203. They've always paid out something along these lines. I've been to Nogi. It's always paid out something like this. So now you have the collaboration. 20% is going off the top. 60% is going out because the other 20 is going towards the overall seed in the end, right? Yep. Now, like you said, you're paying out 4. He's paying out 6. All things that make complete sense. So any sane individual who will crunch the numbers now based on what they know attendance was, and what they know the buy-in was, and what they know the winners took, it all makes sense.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
But if you're not,
what I'd like to finish off at, sorry to interrupt you, but what I'd like to finish off at is most throwers in Connecticut know me, right? I'm an open book. 100%. If there's ever any questions about anything, I welcome the questions. I welcome you to, you know, look at my spreadsheet because I put everything down on a spreadsheet from attendance to, you know, who got paid what. You know, I would happily show everybody, because at the end of the day, I remember there being comments back when we were at Cielo and stuff like that, that Josh Roberts would look at me and be like, "You're paying me this much? Why? It's all about the love of the game and trying to give back. So it's never been a cash grab, and I know no organizer out there is trying to be a cash grab, right? It's all trying to pay out. It's all trying to
In that same breath, no organizer out there should be doing anything for free.
100%.
Especially, don't get me wrong, I commend the people that have the venues that they can leave their boards or they can store their boards there, so it's a minor setup. But boards cost money, tablets cost money.
Mats.
I don't know a director who's not a father, a husband,
Yep.
A student, a working man, so on and so forth. I'm giving you my time.
Time is the
I'm
most
giving
valuable.
I'm giving you my equipment. And I also have to give you my undivided attention through the whole night, because a lot of people don't care if Freddie's got the last bag in a frame that could potentially win the game. Freddie, my tablet's not working.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So a lot goes into it, man. And too many people, in my opinion, want stuff for free. And
well, I don't necessarily think people want stuff for free. That's a given. Actually, that is a given. Everybody wants something for free. But I think in the cornhole community itself, and I'll call it duck a duck, everybody wants a prize payout. Everybody. There
I'm
needs to be
anti participation trophy.
Yeah.
Listen, there needs to be 17 tiers, and you need to pay out 4 spots in every tier. That's asinine, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I understand there's going to be some clubs that do it, and there's going to be sub club, just for format purposes, and you want to, show the love and everything like that. But at the end of the day, what other sport can you go to where things are broken down between 3 tiers and you're paying out that many people? You can't do it. A lot of places you go and you're just paying your $20 just for the time.
Yes.
Just for the enjoyment of it.
Yes.
For the entertainment. Where could you go for $20, throw another $20 at the bar for $40 for 5 hours at night? You can't. Try bowling. Go bowling right now. Tell me how much it costs you to go bowling for an hour with one child. Yeah, pickleball. I play pickleball. I love pickleball. Shout out to Zach Grashaw, the knife, getting me hooked. You go and you pay $20, $25 to play for an hour, 90 minutes. You get a prize for that. You go and sign up for a tournament. You're paying $60 for a tournament.
Sweat and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, you're not winning anything. So at the end of the day, I mean, I think sometimes we take a little bit for granted being cornhole players, but also it was created somewhere. I don't know where it was created. This assumption that if you play cornhole, you need to win money, no matter your skill level, no matter your tier.
I think that stuff should always remain more in the social aspect of the game. You know what I mean? Because when it comes down to it, I feel like those little frivolous complaints, they kind of tarnish the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Like the camaraderie in the game is second to none. I've played softball. I've played some basketball leagues, the rec league. 35 and up and stuff like that. Just the camaraderie in cornhole is second to none, man. You can like I just talked about Ant-Man. You can play with a 9-year-old. You can play with like my buddy Rich Senior, 70-something years old. You can play with a woman. You can play with a young lady. You never know who you're going to meet. I've met lawyers, I've met cops, I've met electricians, I've met mechanics.
Yeah.
You name it. You know what I mean? It's a plethora of individuals from all different walks of life who share the same common interest and hobby, which is throwing this bag 27 feet.
But
nobody came here to be a millionaire.
Shame on us organizers. Shame on us organizers who kind of are the catalysts that enable that kind of behavior and enable these payouts of these multiple different tiers. So we're pressured into giving into the complaints of whether it be the competitive player who wins all the time who wants more money, or the social player who says, you know what, it's not worth my time if I'm not winning anything, because we clamor for attendance, right? We clamor for people to come support our club. We need the people to show up. And if you're saying something wrong or doing something wrong that, if you're not pleasing everybody, which we already know is impossible to do, but if you're not trying and attempting to do so, then your club is going to
it's going to tank.
To hurt. It's going to tank, right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, there's got to be a silver lining somewhere, or some kind of line in the sand needs to be drawn where it's like, I get we have to cater. Maybe that's a bad term, but cater, so to speak, and favor or listen to and put into perspective the complaints and or the opinions of the beginners, the
Yep.
social players. But at the end of the day, when it comes to payouts,
It's crazy how you say it too, because when we started, 2 brackets. Depending on the number, it'd be one. And we had this conversation, obviously, on one of the lives, but I felt like maybe the last year or two, I'd say, matter of fact, the last 18 months to 2 years is, the snowball effect kind of took place. The only club standing that was doing this from the beginning was CCC. Everybody else did 2 brackets,
mhm,
you know, and if they had low numbers, it was 1 bracket. If it was lower numbers, it was a singles bracket, you
mhm.
know, and I remember, it was never ever about the money. It was about getting better. Saying I like when we started at Riverview, being able to challenge
And compete.
or give Gary Tutoli a good game. I know I couldn't beat him at the time. I gotta give him a good game. Ray
Yeah,
Parquet, I gotta give him a good game. These guys are solid. And the time came where you beat them and stuff like that, and you weren't even thinking about the money. It was like, yo, I just beat Ray Parquet, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Or I just beat back then Jared Zoo, you know what I mean? Like I just beat this guy, and it was like what,
Nah, that's
you
the
know?
best
And
feeling.
and the dog fights,
Yeah.
you lose your first
When
game out of the bracket, now you gotta rip and run all the way through the loser bracket to get back because you don't want to go home early.
Yup.
And there was this thing where we didn't want participation trophies. We wanted to win. We wanted to get better. We ran towards the better players to get better because the only way I can break my jitters with Freddie, if Freddie's the top dog, is by constantly playing Freddie. If I don't play
yeah,
Freddie regularly, then he's always going to have my number because I'm never going to know what to expect. I have to
yeah.
prepare myself to play Freddie by playing Freddie. So I felt like there was a certain level of competition back then where people ran towards the fight. You were only as bad as the man you were beating. You know what I mean? You could run around and beat a bunch of backyard bandits, and what do you got to show for it? You didn't really beat seasoned players.
But
You
there's
know,
also
so
levels to it too, where we all became, or we all came into the sport as social players,
yes,
right? We all started there where it was like, I want to do that. I want to play against them well. I want to give them a dog fight. But then when you start giving that dog fight and you start sniffing that money, you can start seeing that money. You get that first payout, you get that second payout, you get that good run. Oh, I beat them. Or now it becomes expected.
you did that to me. Singles championship at Cello Banquet Hall. Singles on a Saturday.
Yep.
You did it.
I just had the memory on my phone actually about that.
Yeah, I came in with the West Georgia Hellfires.
Yep.
And that was the highlight of my obviously I'm still figuring the game out. I had one little blind draw here and there. Um, I've never went that deep in the singles tournament, and I've never went that deep in the BYOP tournament. And I beat Ray Parquet that day. I think I beat Totoli that day. I beat Dave Fowler that day. I beat Josh Roberts that day. I beat Queen Scenario at that time.
Did you beat?
And
You came
I
in
only
second. You came in
yeah,
second.
yeah, I
Okay.
only lost twice. Todd Johnson sent me to the losers bracket, and then Todd Johnson beat me in
Yep.
the chip.
I
And he
want to say top
outscored,
three.
and I
Top
want
three
to
was
say he
him, you, and
outscored me
Josh.
50. I think he outscored me like 52-2 or something like that. But it's Todd Johnson, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for me, like that was the happiest loss I've ever had in my life. You know what I mean? And it was
Yeah.
like, and I played great. And even in the loss, I played great. I made some poor decisions because of my nerves, but I swear, I want to say after I had a tremendous push, a 3-bag push against Josh Roberts. I could have gotten in the car and left right then and there. Like, because I threw the bag up with $1 and a dream. I just blasted it down the middle, and I just happened to hit the pile and take my bags only. And he's
Listen,
got two.
I
He's
care
got two
about you
sabotages in the
so.
hole.
I care about you so much that I think I'm going to go back to the live streams that I had. I'm going to tag you in it so you can relive all this glory.
Oh my god, yeah, that was my greatest
because it's all there.
that time, yo. And I was just I couldn't, yo. It was like. I got to practice more. I got to practice more because Todd Johnson was the boogeyman. He used to never come out much. He used to be in CCC. He would travel for the big tournaments, but Todd and Rooster had this elusiveness to them where you wouldn't see them. They just show up and everybody be like, oh, man, they're here. And
I
then
couldn't tell you how
them.
many times. I couldn't tell you how many times that they would pre-register the last minute because people would not even show up to tournaments if they saw them pre-registered.
Scared. They're like they think it's donation money. But when I seen them on the list, I used to get excited. Like, yes, it's gonna be a chance for me to fucking beat these guys. It's going down.
Yeah.
So
either
everybody
I'm gonna
interprets
lose or
that different.
either I'm gonna win or I'm gonna learn one way or the other.
If there was one other thing that we could touch on, we could possibly save it for another episode if you guys wanted to too. But Bam Bam had reached out to myself, Bees, Darcy, Phil. We threw Rooster in a text message in regards to perhaps creating. I don't want to put a name on it yet, but some kind of overall collaboration between organizers in the state of Connecticut, possibly breaking it down geographically, having clubs work together, and having a series of tournaments, doubles and singles. Excuse me, doubles and singles, where the podium winners of those events qualify for an overall championship event. For instance, if you took let's just say 203 and Will Noah with Connecticut Cornhole, and we hosted a Southwestern Connecticut event, and then you take, let's just say, NVC and Candlewood and did a Northwestern event, and you take the 860s, the two of them, and do a Northern event, and Cornhole by the Sound and CCC for Central, and Southeastern with Coastal, Dream Killer, 395, up in the Northeast could be Thompson,
Yep.
in the state of Connecticut hosting these events, right? And whoever comes in the podiums qualifies. But let's just say I play in my own event and I don't make the top 3, which would not happen. I can go and play into another person's event and try to come into that top 3. Once you come in the top 3 of one of those events, you obviously can't go and participate in another one because you've already qualified. But then it culminating into a huge event to crown the best singles and best doubles team in the state of Connecticut. So we're in our infancy of this, but I wanted to speak this into fruition because I think Bam Bam had talked about it for a little bit. I've done so as well.
We got to take a look at the boards that Bees has. The CT versus everyone boards, it has on the map where the clubs are located on the state. So that could help you geographically figure out.
There's also a Facebook group. I'll tag it in this, but I believe it's Connecticut Cornhole events, and then in parentheses surrounding areas. I personally created the backdrop of it, and the backdrop of it is the state of Connecticut with the logo of each club almost as a pin drop in the map of where they're located.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? So there's, like something like an Any Baggin' isn't around anymore. There might be new clubs that weren't added or something like that, but for the most part, there's definitely enough to get a little bit of know where it is. But again, in its infancy, I really think since Bam Bam created this kind of buzz, but with it in my brain, I think we really need to do something good with getting all orders in one kind of big message and go from there.
Yo, Fred, but real quick, now that I'm thinking about it, didn't Ben mention something like that? Remember Ben when we was signing up for that cancer awareness?
Ben Solano?
Yeah.
So Ben has reached out to me a few times.
And I know there's been some talk too. So
Well, his was a little bit different.
It's different.
His was a little bit different. Yeah. So Ben's reached out to me a couple of times, and I'm trying, and I would love to do it. My communication with him hasn't been the best. My apologies, Ben, if you're listening. But I do know something that he wanted to do. Kind of, if you draw a line in the middle of what I just kind of discussed and what BZBs does with call outs, is something that he wants to do. What he wanted to do was some kind of, you're basically creating an event that is done in the background. For instance, you have people sign up for, let's just say it's an underground event where they create a bracket, but me and you, we've all signed up, right? And then the bracket's created and me and you play against each other in round 1. Well, we could just discuss between each other, hey, we're going to both be at 203 on Tuesday night. Let's rock out our game while we're doing it, right? And create a 2 week, say round 1 of this entire event. You have 2 weeks to complete it. You have to contact the person you're going against, figure out a time to go get that game done, and then you play, and then you move on to the next one. So kind of almost like an underground event, which would be awesome. And what that would do would promote other players to go to different events, right? Let's just say that I draw somebody that's up in the 860 Litchfield. Well, guess what? Now we have an opportunity to get either that player at 860 Litchfield down to 203 or me up to Litchfield, right? So, or we could just, let's draw halfway and meet at NVC or Candlewood or something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So his idea of it is tremendous. And I think he needs a little bit of help, and I would love to help with other organizers as well.
Right.
But that would be more of so it's kind of the same thing, like a call out type of thing. And it's also kind of like an organized thing, but in the background, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just want to
I
clear the
think
air with,
I think it's
clear
a
the
dope
airways with
concept.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think there's so many organizers that have such good ideas, and it's hard to do by
by
yourselves. You kind of
yourself,
need you need
the
the
community effort.
yeah, you need help everywhere. You need help everywhere, and at the end of the day, everybody's got to put their ego aside
I
and,
think
and
I
and
think
just
I
rock out.
think us personally, we've been blessed to kind of be close to each other because if you notice, we collab a lot. We got a lot going on just within
Hmm.
us. Not that we don't want to collab with anyone else. It's just they far.
Yeah,
Like 203 is close. Nugget Tuck MVC is close. Corn
hmm,
by the Sound is close. Truck Bar is close. CCC is
yep,
close, right? Like so. That's why people see it more. It's just it's happening organically. We're all
yeah.
here.
It definitely makes it easier.
You know what I'm saying?
But
So
also, hopefully, someone like you, Bees, you could be an inspiration to somebody else to be able to do kind of like what you do in their area,
I
right?
thought Timmy
There's no,
had it. I thought Timmy was gonna get it going.
and he could, because you know what, he could hit that Rhode
He's
Island, he
I'm
could hit
sure
that
he's
Eastern
working on it.
Connecticut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, if obviously, if he needs help, anything that I could do personally from here, I don't mind driving. It just has to make sense. I
yeah. Well,
definitely help out.
it's tough when you have all the clubs in Connecticut and you could play cornhole 7 days a week. So if we could already play 7 days a week, where are you getting time on that eighth day to go to Rhode Island?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's tough. It's really tough.
yeah,
It's a double edged sword because it's great that we have all of this, but it's also you want to spread your wings a little bit more, but it's
yeah,
difficult. So
Yes,
you
yes.
can't do it all on
And
your own.
I feel like the good thing is though, like you said, Fred, if you break it into regions
Hmm.
or sections, so to speak, you got the ones on our side that we all support each other, obviously, MVC, 203, Cornhole by the Sound, Connecticut Cornhole, what else is
Candlewood.
close? And Candlewood. So now the other side of the map is Dream Killers, Coastal, A60, CT River,
Yep.
um, what else is up there? 395 Baggers, um,
Thompson.
yeah, Thompson Speedway. So it could create some all star teams,
That's
you
what I'm
know,
saying. That's what I'm saying.
and
hmm
then
Maybe we're creating. Maybe Bam Bam is onto something. Maybe this turns into be something
I
big.
think he is, man, and I think it falls under my dream, which is we all remember the end of the school year when you had field day,
Hmm.
and as adults, what would be better than a field day of cornhole, airmail competition, skinny board competition, singles competition, doubles competition, crew cup competition. You know,
Yep.
the sky's the limit, man.
Yep,
Yep, yep.
absolutely, man. And we got a call out going down on Tuesday in Montana nights. We're gonna get there early. Frankie Fourbaggers versus Sloat the Goat. That
Hey.
battle's
Okay,
popping
okay.
off on Tuesday. So
Best out of three. First
best
one
out
to
of three,
21 gives the
20.
donut, counts
Let's
for two
go
games.
out of there.
Yes, sir.
And
What's the stakes? What's the stakes?
I think I don't know. They're definitely putting up some stake. Some I don't know if I'm saying it right. They're definitely putting up some cash or something. They got something going on. But
Love it.
it's definitely going down Tuesday on Montana nights. Before the Fred 203 collab with Nugget Tuck. So if you
Yeah,
want
make
to
sure you
get
guys
there
go follow
early,
Beez's page, man. That new page, the call
thank you.
outs,
Yes,
man.
Yeah, if you
Follow that
yes.
page
guys,
because
I
that's where you're gonna
appreciate it.
find everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna start
Follow,
dropping
like,
everything
share.
there. But
Yes,
if you
sir.
guys want to get there early to watch it live and just be there and feel the vibes, you're more than welcome. If not, you guys just be on your device and get
And
to
at the
watch
end
it
of the
there.
day, let's piggyback. Let's just go real back and digress back to that payouts discussion. We got week 12, the final week of the collab 203 NVCs happening this Tuesday. So again, you guys are going to be impressed with these payouts for the championship singles doubles. If anybody's on the
Bag
outskirts,
talk.
if you're on the outskirts looking in, don't catch yourself looking in, man. If you can get in
Listen,
that
and if
top
you got
24,
6 weeks in, you better make sure you're
You
there
better
on
make that.
Tuesday.
You better make that last one
You
because it's
better
gonna
make
be
that
bag
7th week.
talk. Brown
You
paper
know?
bags over there.
and listen, at the end of the day, what we haven't discussed, and again, shame on us for the transparency. There's been a couple of questions, but let me just say it here at the end. The way the doubles format of our championship is going to work is, do either one of you guys know what the Cornelius format is?
No. New to me.
Cornelius is the way the doubles are going to be paired up with the top 24 is who's ever ranked number one gets paired up with number two, number threes with number four, number fives with number
Oof.
six. So it benefited you, it awarded you.
To
If
be
you
up there.
came and you you showed out, you get rewarded with a good partner.
I'm up
And I'm
there.
not saying
I'm
a
up
good
there.
partner, but
Let's go.
so that's
I
what I'm
missed a
saying.
week too, man. I was like number. I was think I was like number 5 or number 6, and I think I dropped. But last week performance wasn't too good. So, but either way, I'm definitely in the top 10. I think.
Yeah, but
so.
at the end of the day, if you showed up all the time, and there's bonus points too. Anybody who showed up 10, 11,
So
or
I might
12
move
weeks
up.
gets 50 bonus points, so you could move up too. So at the end of the day, you're going to get a good partner, but singles event is going to happen at NVC, doubles is happening at Montana Nights. Those dates are going to be announced. So this coming Tuesday is the finale, but then the following week, we don't know which one's happening first or second, whether it's going to be the doubles or singles, but we're each going to host an event. It's going to be a banger. So come get your points on Tuesday. Yo, March 9th, Wounded Warrior. As of today, we are pushing big social medias.
March 9th.
Hell yeah.
We are pushing that. We need everybody to show up. Everybody
share it on everything.
That's a crazy venue, man. And the reason why we rescheduled was because we ain't got enough sign up. But it's a crazy venue. We are paying for that venue. Let's just be clear. So we putting up some bread for that. For us, you know what I'm saying? Me, Fred, and Ricardo's putting up some bread. And it's a great venue. You guys seen that it has a VIP lounge upstairs, downstairs. There's room. Nobody's on top of each other. A great bar is gonna be there. And we just need bodies to support it. And it's for a good cause. We're dropping T-shirts. We're going to throw some of that out this week. And there's going to be great raffles, great prizes. We already have a whole bunch of prizes to give you guys. We're probably going to add some more. So we just need you guys to pretty much sign up and support. That's it.
Absolutely.
I got one more thing I want to say before we go. Yesterday I was on Facebook and I saw Scott Brewer. Shout out to Scott from Battle Baggers. Post a question in Scoreholio organizers about blocking someone from enrolling into a tournament. And obviously it can be done, but nothing's to stop that individual from creating a new email, creating a new login, and registering with a different name. I say that to say this. The community has to communicate, and not only do they have to communicate, I think there should be some level of solidarity in these people that are causing problems. This game is fun. We have a great time. It's a family-friendly game. We play at venues that kids play at, mothers, children's, grandparents. It's what we do to blow off steam. It's our pastime. It's the game we love the most. Nobody should have to deal with having to block someone or ban someone from a tournament. But if you have to, this is me speaking for myself here, but if you have to, I feel like there should be a conversation had between most directors. What was it? What happened? What's this guy doing? The individual specifically, I don't know from a can of paint, but he's already been banned from 2 other places already. I feel like a conversation should be had, man. If this is what this guy does everywhere he goes.
Avoid what happened, something critical.
Yeah, like happened. Like we're having up at that bowling alley. You know what I mean?
You just never
and you know, if this is what this guy does, and he's doing it, he's got kicked out of one place, and he's still doing it at the next place. He gets kicked. I feel like a conversation should be had where, listen, bro, I'm not banning you from right here. I'm telling you don't come here anymore, and I'm making a call right now to the rest of the directors inside the state of Connecticut. You're not going to be able to play anywhere if you don't fix this. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, because we've had this conversation mildly about a separate individual. It's not that kind of party. This dude is being rude. He's being disrespectful. He's just walking up to random new players, challenging, let's play for money. He's bad-mouthing. He's talking a lot of shit, swearing. You know, he's just a belligerent fool from what I'm hearing from a lot.
And being unsportsmanlike where he starts to lose in a game and just leaves in the middle of a game, just picks up his bags and walks away.
He's just doing a lot of things that, man, I feel like I would slam doors, man. You know, I'm not just telling you can't come here no more. I'm going to make a couple calls, and when I'm done, you're probably not going to be able to play anywhere outside your backyard. You know what I mean? Because the reality is nobody should have to deal with that. No organizer should have to deal with that. You know, your job is something that you do as your hobby, and it's what you love, Fred. Imagine somebody stressing you out every week because you don't know if this schmuck is going to come here and be an asshole. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong. Everybody carries their own nonsense, you know? Nobody should have to deal with that. Or if you're wondering, if I ban this guy, is he going to come back here and act crazy? You know, am I going to have to call the police? You know, whatever. And don't get me wrong. A lot of cops play in a lot of our leagues. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. You know, that guy shot at the bowling alley up there in Mass. You never know what could come of these things. But I feel like a general conversation should be had when it becomes a major issue that more than one club has to ban the individual.
But also at the end of the day, I just always like to give the benefit of the doubt to some people, and I don't know. I'm a
yes. 100%.
I'm a hard ass to a certain extent. I'm brash. I don't have a filter. Some people might not like me. Some people do like me. Some people get my sense of humor. Some people don't. But at the end of the day, I think sometimes I'm a little too soft on certain situations. And this specific individual we don't have to get into is just more like, what's the common denominator here that's creating this? Why is this happening? I want to listen. If it's all about, somebody did you wrong when you first started playing cornhole and like you just have this grudge now, how do we get over that? How do we, there's a reason you started playing cornhole because you loved it, right? You're not coming back because you want to be miserable. And
if you had a bad day at work, let me buy you a beer.
Like 100%. Like what's the common, I know the quick and easy answer is how do we ban this person? How do we stop this person from not going anywhere? But how about we come together and maybe have a conversation with the kid
create a dialogue.
Like, why is this happening? How do we get it so you can play? Not how do we get it so we can ban him, but how do we get it so we could all come to a certain, what's bothering him? What does he not like about it? Listen, at the end of the day, we can't please everybody. And if we can't help, then we can't help. But
but that's my point, though. Overall, I would never immediately just jump to that conclusion.
No, I know you wouldn't. No,
but to be able to have that in the holster to say, listen, buddy, this has to be figured out because this can't happen anymore because this is not just going to stop you from coming here. I'm going to put a call in. So now you got to weigh your options. You know what I mean? Like,
and not to be rude, that this specific individual is almost irrelevant to the community because he's not a well-known person. Nobody's going to know who we're talking about right now. And yeah, like it is what it is, but it's not like a really, really known person that's affecting the community. Whether or not he plays or not is not going to affect the mass of players, but at the end of the day, it's going to affect the new players. You're going to roll up into this place, and this new player is going to be like, who's this guy? I've already heard it, and I've only played with him a couple of times. So listen, at the end of the day, I truly hope that, he comes around to it and he gets the same out of the game that we get out of the game, which is competitiveness, enjoyment, camaraderie, the list goes on, So Pete, I appreciate you bringing that up and putting that on a public platform.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's got to be said, Definitely got to be said.
Because at the end of the day, we're adults. If the guy does it to me, I could take it. I could sit there and say, bro, relax. It's not that serious or whatever. Just like any of you guys did, it'll roll right off of our back. Mm-hmm. But who's to say this individual is not going to do it to someone's wife or someone's child? But you got to remember, it's what we're seeing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, absolutely. But gentlemen, always a pleasure.
Absolutely, my fellas.
Yeah, man. I think we got another one in the books.
Got another one in the books. Like, share, tell your friends. Come hear us out.
H9Y203 BZB's
Any questions? Anything in particular you guys want to talk about? Any pictures?
People,
any videos? Any highlights?
Your shots of the week.
Yeah,
we
highlights.
can only do what you guys send us. Submit your shots of the week so we can post them, man. We can give the honorable mentions.
And don't be embarrassed. Don't worry. Live stream your own games if you want to.
Yes.
Absolutely. We'll talk soon, bro.
Another one, man.
BagTalk signing off.
BagTalk.
Yeah.
All right.